During a sudden and severe medical crisis, I found myself crossing into the spiritual realm. My physical body lay lifeless, but my soul was awake and aware. In this profound state, I encountered Jesus in radiant glory. His presence was overwhelming, full of love, holiness, and truth. In his voice, both gentle and firm, he told me that the enemy thrives in deception. He explained how symbols are being used to subtly infiltrate our lives and open pathways for darkness. These are not just harmless images, but spiritual gateways that must be shut. In many belief systems and spiritual practices, symbols hold great power. Some symbols are seen as conduits for divine energy, while others are considered gateways for dark or demonic influences. Whether you view these symbols as literal spiritual threats or as representations of negative energy, their presence in your life might be affecting you more than you realize. Let's examine 5 symbols that some believe you need to remove from your environment immediately. 1. The Nazar, evil eye. The Nazar, commonly represented as a blue eye-shaped amulet, is often used as protection against the evil eye, a curse believed to be cast by a malevolent glare. Ironically, some spiritual perspectives claim that the Nazar itself can invite negative forces. Its origin is rooted in superstition and occult practices, which, according to certain religious beliefs, opens a door to demonic entities rather than blocking them. It's said that relying on objects like the Nazar instead of divine protection can create a spiritual dependency, leading to unintended harm. Beyond its physical appearance, the Nazar's widespread use across cultures raises concerns for those who see it as more than just a cultural artifact. Many believe that wearing or displaying the Nazar places one's faith in a material object rather than a higher spiritual power. This reliance, some argue, shifts focus away from genuine protection, be it divine intervention or personal strength, and instead places trust in something inherently powerless on its own. Additionally, critics warn that the Nazar can unintentionally attract what it is meant to repel. By drawing attention to the concept of the evil eye, it can serve as a magnet for negative energies. To some, the very act of acknowledging curses or malicious intentions invites them into your life, amplifying their potential harm. Spiritual leaders often caution against embracing symbols like the Nazar, urging individuals to seek protection through prayer, mindfulness, and spiritual growth rather than occult or superstitious objects. 2. The hexagram, 6-pointed star. While the hexagram is famously associated with Judaism as the Star of David, it also has a long history of use in occult rituals and magical practices. Many occultists and alchemists have used this 6-pointed star for summoning spirits and channeling energies. Some believe that the hexagram is a powerful symbol that can act as a gateway for demonic forces, particularly when used improperly or without understanding its origins. If you have objects featuring this symbol without aligning with its sacred purpose, it could inadvertently invite negativity into your life. The hexagram's structure, composed of 2 interlocking triangles, is seen by some as a representation of the merging of the spiritual and physical realms. While this might appear neutral or even harmonious, occultists have historically exploited this symbolism in rituals designed to invoke supernatural entities. The use of the hexagram in summoning practices is one reason it has been linked to potential dark or demonic energies. For individuals unaware of its esoteric meanings, keeping this symbol in their lives might unintentionally connect them to spiritual forces they do not fully understand. Additionally, some spiritual teachings caution that using a symbol as powerful as the hexagram without a clear, sacred intention risks misaligning its energy. Critics argue that when its deeper meaning is ignored, it can open doorways to negative influences rather than offering protection or balance. Instead of treating the hexagram as a mere decoration, it's important to understand its historical and spiritual context to avoid unknowingly inviting harmful energies. For those concerned about its associations, removing the symbol and focusing on more transparent expressions of faith or spirituality may help restore peace and clarity in their lives. 3. The all-seeing eye. The all-seeing eye, often enclosed in a pyramid, is a symbol that has sparked endless debates. While it is associated with divine providence in some contexts, it is also heavily tied to secret societies, conspiracy theories, and occult symbolism. Many spiritual leaders warn that the all-seeing eye represents surveillance and manipulation by dark spiritual forces, symbolizing a watchful, controlling presence. keeping this symbol in your life might symbolize an acceptance of intrusive or oppressive energies. Historically, the all-seeing eye has been revered as a representation of omnipresence and divine watchfulness. However, its adoption by secretive organizations, such as the Freemasons and the Illuminati, whether real or symbolic, has cast it in a more sinister light. Some believe that the symbol no longer reflects divine guidance, but rather a sinister force seeking control over humanity. The pyramid, often accompanying the eye, is said to represent hierarchical power structures, with the eye at the top symbolizing dominion over the masses. Spiritually, critics argue that the all-seeing eye invites a sense of unease and submission, fostering an atmosphere of fear and oppression rather than peace. Its presence in art, currency, and pop culture has also fueled concerns that it perpetuates a system of constant surveillance and manipulation. For those who are spiritually sensitive, keeping the symbol around may amplify feelings of vulnerability, as if being watched by an unseen, untrustworthy force. Removing it from your life is seen by some as an act of reclaiming personal freedom and spiritual sovereignty, replacing fear with faith and clarity. The yin-yang. The yin-yang symbol, rooted in ancient Chinese philosophy, represents duality and balance, light and dark, good and evil. However, critics of this symbol from certain spiritual perspectives argue that it normalizes the coexistence of good and evil as equals. In Christian theology, for example, good and evil are not meant to coexist harmoniously, but are instead in constant conflict. By embracing the yin-yang, some believe you risk opening yourself to a worldview that subtly undermines the absolute nature of good, allowing demonic forces to creep into your life under the guise of balance. The symbol's deeper philosophy teaches that opposites are interconnected and interdependent, each containing a seed of the other. While this might promote acceptance of life's complexities, critics argue it can blur moral clarity. In spiritual frameworks where good is seen as absolute and evil as a corruption to be eradicated, the yin-yang suggestion of harmony between the two may be misleading. It risks promoting moral relativism, where actions and intentions lose their distinction between righteous and sinful, potentially desensitizing individuals to the dangers of spiritual darkness. Furthermore, some spiritual authorities caution that the yin-yang's emphasis on balance could open the door to complacency, where one tolerates evil as necessary rather than resisting it. This mindset may unwittingly invite negative influences into one's life under the guise of seeking peace. For those concerned with its implications, removing this symbol can reaffirm a commitment to moral clarity, focusing on seeking truth and goodness as pure and uncompromised ideals. 5. The pentagram, five-pointed star. While not explicitly mentioned in your request, no discussion of demonic symbols would be complete without mentioning the pentagram. Often misunderstood, the pentagram has been used in both protective and harmful ways throughout history. When inverted, it becomes a representation of satanic worship. The association between the pentagram and demonic forces is strong, and many believe its presence can attract negative spiritual entities. The upright pentagram, historically, has symbolized balance and protection, with its 5 points representing elements like earth, water, air, fire, and spirit. However, the symbol's deeper association with occult practices has led to its use in rituals involving summoning or commanding spiritual forces. When inverted, 2 points facing upward and 1 downward, it is widely recognized as a symbol of Satanism, representing the triumph of carnal desires or earthly power over spiritual purity. This inversion also aligns with the image of a goat's head, further linking it to demonic imagery. Critics warn that even the innocent or decorative use of a pentagram can open a spiritual doorway, as symbols carry energy tied to their historical and ritualistic usage. Some believe that keeping a pentagram in one's life, whether through jewelry, art, or clothing, can act as a beacon for malevolent entities. Moreover, the casual display of such a powerful symbol might desensitize individuals to its darker connotations, making them less vigilant against potential spiritual harm. For those who view it as a potential source of negativity, removing it from their environment is seen as a proactive way to maintain spiritual purity and peace, redirecting focus toward symbols of light and protection. If you're concerned about the presence of these symbols in your life, here are a few steps to consider. 1. Cleanse your space. Remove objects bearing these symbols from your home, jewelry collection, or workplace. 2. Seek divine guidance. Turn to prayer, meditation, or your spiritual leader to seek clarity and protection. 3. Educate yourself. Understand the history and spiritual context of symbols to avoid unintentionally inviting negative energies. Whether you believe these symbols are inherently demonic or simply tools that can be misused, taking proactive steps to align your environment with your values and beliefs is essential.